Every year, hundreds of thousands of tourists visit Bran Castle in Romania believing they're walking through Dracula's home. They buy tickets, take photos, and leave with Dracula's Castle souvenirs. But the historical Vlad III, Vlad the Impaler, is not clearly tied to Bran as a residence. At most, he likely passed through the nearby Bran Gorge on campaigns. So why does Bran get the Dracula label, and where did Vlad actually live? Part of the confusion starts with Bram Stoker's 1897 novel. Stoker describes Dracula's castle as a remote fortress in the Carpathians near a mountain pass. He never visited Romania and relied on travel writing and maps, so he didn't point to one specific real castle. In the 20th century, especially during the communist era push to attract visitors, Bran was promoted as Dracula's Castle because it fit the vibe, dramatic hilltop setting, medieval look, and location near a famous pass. The marketing stuck. Historically, Bran was built as a border fortress and customs point by Transylvanian Saxons, authorized in 1377 and completed in the late 14th century. Vlad's relationship with nearby Brașov and Saxon towns was often hostile, with raids and complaints recorded in period documents. You'll also hear that Vlad was imprisoned at Bran after 1462. That claim is popular, but many historians place his captivity at other sites under the Hungarian crown, not Bran. Even if he ever stayed there briefly, Bran was never his castle. Vlad's strongest castle link is Poenari Fortress, perched on a cliff above the Argeș River in the Făgăraș Mountains. The site existed earlier, but most accounts agree Vlad strengthened and expanded it during his reign in the mid-1400s, turning it into a hard-to-reach military refuge rather than a comfortable palace. A famous story says Vlad forced captured nobles to rebuild Poenari as punishment. That detail sits in later legend and retellings, so treated as reported, not proven. What is far less controversial is that Poenari was heavily associated with Vlad and became part of his defensive system. Poenari's location mattered. From that height, it watched a key route between Wallachia and Transylvania and offered a place to retreat in emergencies. Even today, reaching it means climbing roughly 1,400 steps, an exhausting ascent that makes the fortress feel earned. This is also where Romanian legend places the death of Vlad's first wife. In the story, as Ottoman forces approached in 1462, she chose to leap from the fortress rather than be captured. The stream below is linked to the tale and is commonly called Râul Doamnei, Lady's River. Whether the event happened exactly as told is uncertain, but the legend has become part of the site's identity. In daily rule, Vlad spent much of his administrative time at the Wallachian capital, Târgovăște. Poenari was his dramatic fallback, a fortress for crisis, not a tourist showpiece. Today, Poenari is a ruin, partly because nature hit it hard. In January 1913, an earthquake-triggered landslide brought down sections of the fortress into the river valley below. Later major earthquakes in 1940 and 1977 caused additional damage. In modern times the site has been stabilized and managed for visitors, but it remains remote, exposed, and physically demanding. That's the real reason Bran wins. Bran is easy, paved access, restored rooms, museum-style exhibits, and a narrative tourists instantly recognize. Poenari is effort, a long climb, rough weather, and mostly stone walls with sweeping views. For many travelers, the choice is convenience over authenticity, so the marketing myth survives. The irony is that the place most associated with Vlad's actual life is the one most people skip. Bran sells a Dracula experience. Poenari offers a glimpse of how a frontier fortress really felt, isolated, defensive, and practical. So if you want the famous photo, you go to Bran. If you want the more believable Vlad setting, you climb the steps to Poenari and imagine what it was built for. Which would you rather visit, the famous Dracula Castle that's easy to reach, or the real cliff fortress that makes you earn it?